The Galactic Council had seen countless species rise and fall across the millennia. They had witnessed civilizations that could manipulate gravity itself, empires that communicated through quantum entanglement, and beings that existed in 7 dimensions simultaneously. But they had never seen anything quite like humanity, and that terrified them. Ambassador Elena Kovac stood in the viewing gallery of the UESC determination, watching Earth shrink behind them as they jumped toward the Council's central nexus. The message had been clear, delivered with all the diplomatic courtesy that barely masked a threat. Humanity will present itself before the Galactic Council to answer for crimes against established order. Refusal will result in immediate quarantine of your star system. Elena's reflection stared back at her from the viewport. 43 years old, silver threading through her dark hair, laugh lines around eyes that had stopped finding much to laugh about lately. Behind her, Captain Morris approached, his footsteps measured. "The crew's nervous," he said quietly. "They're calling it a trial." "It is a trial, Captain." Elena turned from the viewport. "The Council wants to know if we're dangerous, if we're controllable." "And are we?" Elena smiled without humor. "I suppose they're about to find out." The Council chamber was breathtaking in its alien grandeur. Crystalline structures rose from floors that seemed to exist in multiple states simultaneously. Representatives from 47 species occupied their designated spaces, each one a testament to evolution's infinite creativity. At the chamber's center stood a single platform, clearly human-sized, clearly for her. The Archon Prime, a being that resembled living starlight contained within a vaguely humanoid framework, spoke first. Its voice resonated in frequencies that made Elena's bones ache. "Ambassador Kovac of Earth, humanity, the last arrivals. You stand before this council to answer for your species' actions since achieving faster-than-light capability." Elena stepped onto the platform, feeling every alien eye upon her. "I'm here to answer your questions, Archon Prime." 7 years, the Archon continued. 7 years since first contact. In that time, your species has rejected 63% of Council regulations, colonized 14 systems without proper authorization, and repeatedly violated the doctrine of measured development. Most concerning, the being seemed to lean forward, if such a creature could be said to lean. You have attempted to reverse engineer Vacarian technology, specifically our medical regeneration systems, despite being explicitly forbidden. We have, Elena said simply. A wave of shock rippled through the chamber. Several translators struggled to keep up with the flood of alien commentary. You admit this crime? The Archon Prime's voice carried genuine surprise. It's not a crime where we come from. It's called learning. Learning, the Archon repeated, as if tasting an unfamiliar word. Ambassador, there are protocols, systems developed over millions of years to ensure stability. Your species has existed in space for less than a decade. You cannot simply what? Elena interrupted, earning gasps from several delegates. Cannot simply try to save our people? The Vacarian regeneration technology could eliminate 90% of the diseases that kill humans, cancer, genetic disorders, organ failure, and you want us to wait 300 years for your proper authorization while people die? A new voice cut through the chamber, harsh and clicking. The Zarasath representative, a being composed of interlocking crystalline segments, rose from its position. Your species' impatience is precisely the problem, human. You rush forward without understanding consequences. Do you know how many civilizations have destroyed themselves through reckless advancement? 47. We have records of 47 extinction events caused by species that could not control their own development. And how many countered have gone extinct because they were too afraid to grow, because they followed rules designed by others for others until they had no capacity to adapt. This council has maintained galactic peace for 6 million years. The Zarasath's voice rose to a painful pitch. Your species has existed for a fraction of that time. What makes you think you know better than millennia of accumulated wisdom? Elena was quiet for a long moment. When she spoke again, her voice was soft but carried through the entire chamber. May I tell you a story? The Archon Prime tilted its form, curiosity perhaps. Proceed. 52 years ago, Earth experienced what we called the Cascade virus, a disease that specifically targeted children under 10. It killed 93 million before we found a treatment. During that pandemic, there was a doctor named Sarah Chen. She broke 17 different medical protocols, violated 4 international laws, and destroyed her career developing an experimental treatment. The medical establishment called her reckless, dangerous, said she was putting everyone at risk by not following proper procedures. And she probably was. The treatment she developed had a 30% chance of severe side effects, but the disease had a 100% fatality rate. Elena looked around the chamber, meeting alien eyes that could process light spectrums she couldn't even see. Dr. Chen saved my daughter's life. She also saved 300,000 other children. And yes, some suffered complications. Some died from the treatment instead of the disease. Dr. Chen lived with that guilt until the day she passed. But here's what I need you to understand. She didn't break those rules because she was reckless. She broke them because she was desperate. Because when you're watching children die and you have even a chance to stop it, you take that chance. That's what it means to be human. Emotion, the Zarasath representative said dismissively. You make decisions based on emotion rather than logic. No, Elena said firmly. We make decisions based on both. You call it emotion, we call it urgency. The recognition that tomorrow isn't guaranteed, that every moment we wait is a moment someone suffers. You've had millions of years to perfect your systems. We've had thousands. We're still learning how to survive, and we're doing it in real time. The chamber fell silent. Finally, a new figure emerged from the shadows of the upper galleries. Elena hadn't even known anyone was up there. The being that descended was ancient. That much was immediately clear. Its form was vaguely insectoid, but covered in technology so advanced it was indistinguishable from its biology. When it spoke, every other being in the chamber seemed to shrink. I am Keeper Torval of the Eldest Archive. I have observed your species since you achieved radio transmission. I was assigned to determine whether humanity represented a threat to galactic stability. Elena felt her pulse quicken. This was it, the real judgment. And, she asked, fighting to keep her voice steady, you are the most dangerous species I have ever studied. The words hung in the air like an executioner's blade. Elena heard Captain Morris shift uncomfortably behind her, heard the collective intake of breath from 47 alien species. But not, Keeper Torval continued, not for the reasons this council fears. The ancient being moved closer, its numerous eyes all focusing on Elena. 3,000 years ago, my species stood where humanity stands now, young, aggressive, refusing to follow protocols we didn't understand. The Galactic Council of that era chose to contain us, quarantine us, for our own good, they said, to protect us from ourselves. The Keeper's voice took on a bitter edge. Do you know what happened to us, Ambassador? We became safe, stable, controlled. We followed every rule, met every regulation, waited patiently for permission to advance, and in doing so, we lost something. We lost our capacity for the desperate innovation that had allowed us to survive our violent homeworld. The Keeper turned to address the full council. When the Vorkai invasion came, it was humanity that developed countermeasures in 6 months that should have taken decades, and that saved 40 billion lives across 30 systems. Do you know why? Because humans still remember how to be desperate, how to break rules when the alternative is extinction. You're saying we should